Hey guys, it's Francesca. I actually got challenged by an online friend in Germany by the name of Taliath to complete the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Taliath, I accept and do not accept your challenge, and here is why. I I love the fact that the ALSA organization thought to do this challenge to raise awareness and raise research funding and donations and things like that. But I admit, I just worry that a certain message, the message of the challenge, gets lost along the way. Don't get me wrong, I've loved watching Tom Hiddleston. I've loved watching Benedict Cumberbatch. I loved watching Zachary Levi and Kim Jae-jung and all of my other favorite celebrities, um, get splashed with water. And I've loved watching to hear them get, raise donations and things like that for this research. But we have, I think, as people, when things become cool and when things become trendy, like that's great, and we love getting the attention, and we love getting the attention that we get for doing all these new trends and things like that. But I want everyone to remember the real reason why these challenges started. Those who are living with ALS advocates, and other people affected by it, be it themselves, family, or friends, love this challenge because it gives them a sense of hope. It gives them a sense of hope for a cure. It gives them a sense of hope for new research and new developments and new treatments and even new services. This challenge, has raised, I heard, over $50 million, which is great. And I think, that's going to go, I'm hoping that goes, to social workers to create services, researchers to find the cure and see what causes it. And hopefully it all goes to a good cause. But to be quite honest, Talia, I'll accept your challenge to raise awareness, which I will do in this video, but I will not accept throwing water over my head. Because one, I think it's a waste of water, and two, the real point of doing that is to raise awareness. I think the throwing of the cold water on oneself creates like a sudden shock to the system, and it leaves the body to react. I mean, it involuntarily reacts and it loses control for a second. And I think in a way, that's kind of what ALS is. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, whatever you want to call it. It's some sort of disease that attacks the nerves that controls voluntary muscles, like muscle movements, like they control speech, they control your muscle dexterity, and things like that. About 3.9 out of every 100,000 people have it. It's normally common amongst white non-Hispanic males and those who are older in age range of 60 to 69. By the way, I'm getting all this information from the National Health Institute, which is the U.S. government, basically like a U.S. governmental hospital where they do all this research and development and all that fun stuff. They say most people who are living with ALS die within 3 to 5 years, mainly because things like the respiratory system eventually fails. But 10% of those cases live over 10 years long. Currently, there are probably about 12,000 people in the U.S. who are living with ALS, and that's apparently some sort of registry the government has. I don't know how they get this registry, but hopefully it's voluntary. But it's a disease that attacks the voluntary nerve muscles. 90 to 95% of cases are sudden onset. There are no clear risk factors. And 5 to 10% of those cases are inherited. I know there's another viral video going around somewhere about that young man who said his grandmother suddenly had it, and then his mother had it, and then he himself was diagnosed at 26. So that's your example of the inheritance of the disease. We have no idea really what causes it. Apparently in the 90s, there was research done on a gene that produces something called the SOD1 enzyme. I don't know what that is. I don't know genetics. But apparently some researchers found like a mutation in this gene, and that could have that mutation could eventually lead to ALS. I know there was some more research needing to be done, and hopefully part of this $15 million goes to that research, because I think the more you can learn about a disease, the more you can treat it, and the more you can better provide services to those clients. And honestly, working in the human services field, I see stuff that quote unquote normal people don't see. And I see the effects of budget cuts and service cuts like all the time. um, I mean, there are so many services that these people probably need, and any human services field needs more services and money. And I'm hoping that, the ALS Foundation and things like that will help create more services and cures or treatments and things like, and anything that they need really for their clients. But what are the symptoms of ALS? Like I said, it's a sudden onset, but some people might notice it in their limbs. Like all of a sudden, they can't button their shirts very well. And all of a sudden, they can't turn their car on very well. If it's that's just in the arms and the hands. If it's in the legs, maybe they're tripping and stumbling, falling more often than, what they normally are. And some people actually notice it in their speech. So clearly it's like attacking the vocal cords, or it's attacking something in the mouth. Well, based upon my common sense logic, so I don't know. And no one really knows. As a social worker who's getting her master's degree, and as someone who is working in the human services field, I just want everyone to realize the true intentions and the true, not so much the true intentions maybe, but I just want everyone to know why this initially was done. It is raising awareness, but I mean, and how many people are visiting the ALS website to learn more about it? I have no idea, but I just want people to know about the disease and why this challenge was started and things like that. So I'm not going to tag anyone, because tagging people in these kinds of things to me are a little bit dumb. Sorry. And I don't really have any friends, to be quite honest with you, to tag. So, and the ones that I could think of to tag, I know wouldn't do it. So, all I ask is that anyone who sees this video, anyone who hears about this video, just watch it, just like it, just share it, Pinterest it, reblog it, or post your blog, whatever. And just keep in mind these little facts about ALS and like why all this research is important. I couldn't go over as much as I would want to, but I would probably bore you to death if I did. So I'm trying to not do that either. But just keep in mind. So all I ask is just share this video, Pinterest it, blog it, reblog it, and all that other stuff. Famous people to note who have ALS actually include obviously Lou Gehrig, Professor Stephen Hawking, who did all that astrophysics, here's the Big Bang type of thing going on, and actually Mao Zedong, the leader of the Chinese Communist Party, might have also had it. So, random fact at the end, okay? That's my challenge. Until next time, bye.